went there as a Trinamool Supremo, but that is also not allowed. That is essentially the point being made here.
Well, yes, I think so. In that case, it's a big development, and things do not seem to be going the Bengal government or Trinamool way, Kishalay, if the Supreme Court's preliminary observations are to go by, because the Supreme Court has said A, that it's a serious matter, B, that if the Supreme Court does not intervene, it can or if the situation is not looked into, it can lead to lawlessness. See that there are larger questions involved of constitutionalism, of federalism, and so the Supreme Court has a locus in this, and clubbing all these arguments or justifications, the Supreme Court has issued a 3-day notice. Now, typically, if you get a show cause notice and have to reply in 3 days, then the Supreme Court attaches an urgency to it, is something that comes out, and all the 3 FIRs against the ED have been stayed by the Supreme Court. So the Bengal police cannot continue investigation in this probe also. I think if you read the tea leaves right, Kishalay, then there are strong headwinds against the Mamata government. They cannot continue with the probe that they had launched with filing of FIRs against Enforcement Directorate. They have to respond to the ED. It's likely that the case might be taken out of Bengal and that the CBI might get in.
This is the most crucial part, Abhishek. It is also directed, the Justice is saying right now, has said in his order, it is also directed that the FIRs registered against the ED officers shall remain stayed till next date of hearing. The ED was specifically arguing that Kolkata police lodged FIR against them in order to stop the investigation and in order to harass the ED officials who were engaged in investigating these financial frauds against I-PAC. So these were politically motivated FIRs done by Mamata Banerjee's police. Now the Supreme Court has stayed those FIRs till the next day of hearing. We are getting to know that the next day of hearing is 3rd February 2026. Till that time, the FIRs against ED officials have been stayed. Justice Mishra is also saying, please direct investigation without coercive steps. If stay is there, then let there be more time to apply. This is what Singhvi is saying. This is what Abhishek Manu Singhvi is saying. Supreme Court is saying, no, we could have passed the order after 10 minutes also, but since so much was argued, it was important to record everything. So this is recorded that all the FIRs against ED officials are now stayed. So that is a big blow to Mamata Banerjee's police and her government. On the other hand, another big blow is that she has to reply to the Supreme Court about why she intervened in this whole process of investigation, even as a political party supremo. And the Supreme Court has come down heavily on her, saying any financial fraud being investigated, being probed by an investigating agency cannot be stopped by a political party, by a political activity, and this can lead to complete lawlessness. That is what the Supreme Court is observing, and the directions are very clear. There is a show cause notice which needs to be replied. The CCTV footages needs to be preserved. On the other hand, there can be no steps taken in terms of the FIRs lodged by Kolkata police against the ED officials. 3 very crucial points, all against Mamata Banerjee. The Supreme Court has come down heavily on Mamata's government.
All right, Swapnil Kothari joins us for more on this. Swapnil, we were discussing this yesterday in the context of the Calcutta High Court proceedings. Today it's the Supreme Court, and essentially a broad contour emerges, which is that things do not look good for the Mamata government. The Supreme Court believes it's a serious matter. Supreme Court believes that this needs to be looked into, that this can lead to lawlessness, and the issues of constitutionalism, federalism are involved. So it seems that things might not go Mamata way insofar as Supreme Court proceedings are concerned.
Well, Abhishek, in a nutshell, it's time for the presidential rule in the state of West Bengal. I don't think this government is running the way it needs to be running, and interference in the affairs of the investigating agency is nothing but a tampering of, justice or evidence in many ways, and also interference in the proceedings, interference in the administration of justice, to be precise, to use the legal language. And tampering of evidence is definitely there. There is no question or an attempt to do so. And the very fact that the Supreme Court has come down heavily is with a view to ensure that all the FIRs are stayed against the Enforcement Directorate, because the police seems to be working totally at the behest of the Mamata government. And that is what the Supreme Court has done. It has said that, okay, even if we pass this order saying that you give us a reply as to why you are there at all in the first place in this matter. So until and unless you give us this reply, we are not going to, for the moment, we are staying all the decisions in the, as all the FIRs are concerned, we are staying all of them. So you cannot act in a revenge or as a reprisal against the state agencies which are operating independently, which is the Enforcement Directorate, and which is the case here. Now, It's very clear that the Supreme Court is leaving no stone unturned to ensure that the rule of law, to the best extent possible, prevails in the state of West Bengal, or should I say, in the state of lawless Bengal, because it is completely lawless and anarchy is not far from this particular state at all. I don't think so. It has ever been lawful since the past decade or so. So this is one state which is an absolute blur, a stigma, and the Supreme Court is well aware of that, and so is the